You got the promotion, the raise, the recognition, everything you said you wanted. And now you're more miserable than when you had nothing. Zeus. Been watching humans chase success for millennia. And here's what never changes. The ones who get it are more broken than the ones who don't. Congratulations, by the way. You worked your ass off, sacrificed relationships, missed your kid's childhood, destroyed your health, and you finally made it. So why does success feel like punishment? Because success doesn't solve problems, it reveals them. Every achievement is a spotlight on everything you tried to run from. And you've been running your entire life. By the end, you'll understand why the thing you wanted most became the thing that destroyed you. But first, let me show you the trap you walked into with your eyes wide open. Quick question. When did you realize success wasn't what you expected? Drop the moment in comments. I'm collecting patterns. Now, let's examine your beautiful disaster.
Here's the lie they sold you. Work hard, achieve goals, happiness follows. Simple formula. Except it's backwards. Success doesn't create happiness. Happiness was the fuel you burned to get success. And now the tank is empty. You spent 10 years saying, I'll be happy when I get promoted, when I hit 6 figures, when I buy the house, when they finally recognize me. You got promoted, still empty. Hit 6 figures, still anxious. Bought the house, still feel like a fraud. They recognize you now, and you feel more alone than ever. Because success revealed what you already knew, but refused to admit. You weren't chasing achievement, you were running from yourself. And the hilarious part? You thought the finish line would give you permission to stop running. But there is no finish line. Success just moved the goalpost again, like it always does. Now you're successful and miserable, which is worse than being unsuccessful and hopeful. At least hope was something. Now you have proof that getting what you want doesn't fix what's broken. Welcome to the success paradox. You won the game. And the prize is realizing the game was rigged from the start.
Let me ask you something. Who are you without your achievements? Can't answer, can you? Because you built your entire identity on external validation. Your job title, your salary, your accomplishments, your status. And now that you have them, you realize something terrifying. None of it is you. You're not a person. You're a resume, a LinkedIn profile, a performance. You spent so long becoming successful that you forgot to become yourself. So, you wake up every day and put on the costume, the successful person. The one who has it all together, the winner. And you play the role perfectly. But when you're alone, when the performance ends, when nobody's watching, you don't recognize yourself. You look in the mirror and see a stranger, wearing your achievements like armor.
hiding behind success because the person underneath is someone you've been avoiding for years. And the best part? You can't even complain because society says you should be grateful. You're successful. What more do you want? Stop being ungrateful. Others would kill for your problems. So you smile, you perform gratitude, you post the wins on social media, you pretend success tastes like you thought it would. But late at night, when the performance ends, you know the truth. You traded yourself for success, and you can't get yourself back.
Let's inventory what you sacrificed, because success isn't free. You paid. You just didn't read the price tag until after checkout. Your health. You're successful and exhausted. Successful and medicated. Successful and can't sleep without pills. Successful and your body is falling apart at 35. Your relationships. Your partner doesn't know you anymore. Your kids barely recognize you. Your friends? What friends? You haven't had time for friends in 5 years. But you're successful, so it's fine. Your peace. You achieve one goal and immediately start worrying about the next. You got the promotion and now you're terrified of losing it. You made the money and now you're paranoid about keeping it. Success didn't bring security. It brought new anxieties. Want to know the cruelest part? You can't even enjoy what you achieved, because success trained you to never be satisfied, to always want more, to see every win as temporary. You finally made it, and your brain's already asking what's next. You can't celebrate because celebration feels like complacency, and complacency is how you lose. So you keep climbing, keep achieving, keep proving, except you don't even know what you're proving it to, or who you're proving it to. You sacrificed everything to become successful, and success turned you into someone who can't stop sacrificing. The treadmill never stops. You just run faster and call it growth. You won, and the prize is you get to keep playing until you break.
Here's where it gets entertaining. You achieved your goals, and it still isn't enough. You know why? Because success is relative, and you just entered a new bracket of comparison. When you had nothing, you compared yourself to people with something, and you felt motivated, ambitious, hungry. Now you have something, so you compare yourself to people with more, and you feel inadequate, behind, like you're losing a race you didn't know you entered. Your salary doubled, but your colleagues tripled. You bought a nice house, but your friend bought a nicer one. You got promoted, but someone younger got promoted higher. You're successful, but someone else is more successful. The goalpost didn't just move, it multiplied. Now there are infinite goalposts, and you can see all of them. Thanks social media. Thanks LinkedIn. Thanks to every reminder that no matter what you achieve, someone achieved more. You thought success would give you confidence. Instead, It gave you new insecurities, better quality insecurities, premium tier inadequacy. Congratulations! And here's what's brilliant. The more you achieve, the more you realize how much further you could go. Success didn't satisfy you. It showed you how unsatisfied you still are. You climbed the mountain, and from the top, all you see are bigger mountains, and the view is making you miserable.
Let's talk about what success really does. The thing nobody mentions. Success removes your excuses. When you were struggling, you had a story. I'd be happy if I just had more money. I'd feel fulfilled if I just got recognized. I'd feel worthy if I just achieved this goal. Those stories gave you hope. They gave you direction. They gave you something to blame for why you felt empty inside. And then you succeeded, and the emptiness is still there. Which means the problem was never external. It was always you. Success didn't fill the void. It just proved the void was never about lack of achievement. It was about something deeper, something you've been avoiding, something achievement can't fix. Maybe it's the childhood wound you never healed. Maybe it's the validation you never got from the people who mattered. Maybe it's the person you abandoned to become successful. Maybe it's the realization that you don't actually like the life you built. Success was supposed to be the answer. Instead, it became a mirror, and you don't like what you see. So now you're successful and empty, which is somehow worse than being unsuccessful and full of hope. At least hope was comfortable. This is just expensive disappointment. You thought external achievement would fix internal problems? Adorable and predictable. I've watched humans make this mistake for 3,000 years. You're not special. You're just the latest.
So why do you keep chasing more, even though you know it won't satisfy you? Because stopping means facing what you've been running from. And you'd rather stay miserable and busy than stop and feel. If you stop achieving, you have to sit with yourself, with the questions you've been avoiding, with the regrets, with the relationships you destroyed, with the person you became, with the life you built that doesn't actually make you happy. Success is your drug, not because it feels good, but because it keeps you numb, keeps you distracted, gives you something to focus on besides the growing suspicion that you optimized for the wrong things. You're addicted to achievement, not for what it gives you, but for what it lets you avoid. Yourself, your life, your choices, your truth. And here's the trap. The more successful you become, the harder it is to stop. Because stopping now means admitting you wasted years, decades, relationships, health, parts of yourself you can't get back. So you keep going, keep achieving, keep climbing, because the only thing worse than being on the treadmill is stepping off and realizing how much you lost while you were running. Success doesn't make you happy. It makes you dependent on the next goal, the next win, the next distraction from the growing certainty that you built the wrong life.
So what now? You want me to tell you how to enjoy your success? How to find gratitude? How to be present? No, because the problem isn't that you can't enjoy success. The problem is you succeeded at the wrong thing. You optimized for achievement, for status, for external validation, for the metrics society told you mattered, and you won that game. But you never stopped to ask if it was the game you wanted to play. You spent decades building a life that looks impressive on paper, that makes other people envious, that checks all the boxes. And now you're living in that life, trapped in your own success, too invested to quit, too aware to pretend it's working. The tragedy isn't that you failed. The tragedy is you succeeded at something that doesn't actually matter to you, at a life that isn't yours. So you have two options. Keep playing the game, keep achieving, keep pretending, keep running, die successful and empty. Or stop. Face what you've been avoiding. Admit you built the wrong thing, and start building what you actually want, which is terrifying, because it means letting go of everything you spent years achieving. Most of you will choose option 1, because option 2 requires courage and honesty, and the willingness to look like you're going backwards to everyone who admired your success. Success made you miserable, and you'll stay miserable, because redefining success means admitting you were wrong, and your ego can't handle that.